Let's pop this puppy open. This is the phase where I see strike-offs to make sure that everything looks lovely. And so the litmus test would be first, is it like, yes, like I get a full picture of what this is and I can see this in the world and I can see people loving it and using it in a myriad of ways. Second, I look at how they work together, how the fabrics themselves work together, how they could be grouped, see if there's like differentiation in scale, if some are bigger, some are smaller, if we've got some variety in color and yet some cohesion as well, and yet the grander cohesion was already established. So it's like we're coming down on different forms of different layers of cohesion. And then I might look at them individually and see how I like each one. If I feel like this is the essence of the thing that I was creating, or even if it's not, is it serving a great purpose in its crafting and design? This is my design, and yet I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it gonna look like? Like I already know, but I don't. All right. Okay, so even though I want to see like all of the thing, I can only look at things one at a time, especially when they are this large. Check it out. Okay, so we've got panel. This collection has 2 panel designs. And by that I mean this is one with 4 pieces of art, so that when you purchase one of these, you get all of this. Oh, lovely. On black. The original art for this owl I was nervous about because it's not very large, but it reprinted so well. It's hard to pick a favorite. The deer gives this nice bit of harmony. Very, very calm and happy, pleasant, classic. The kind of thing that someone with a cabin or a home that wants to feel like a cabin half the year, but not super boring and dreary and camo happy. I like how the autumn moon is just like a really harmonious composition, looking down and flowing. You feel the movement of the leaves. It's kind of a calm favorite. Like I feel like it's something that would work well with a lot of homes. And if you wanted to make it a square cushion, you totally could, because the bottom part, though beautiful, it doesn't necessarily need to be used. You still get that moth in a square, and you can plop this on the couch. You can maybe add another band of black to really extend the artwork around the cushion if you want to do that. So it's kind of like a palatable general piece to have out. The cat just feels so mysterious. There's this background of like, where is this going? I really like that. I can appreciate that about the cat. The eyes glow, which I love it. I love it. It's a color that's not used anywhere else in this panel art, in this little piece, this 1/4 of it. And so it kind of gives something that's a little different, and yet if it were toned down or darkened a little bit, that green is present in other places. And the little moth-like butterflies flying about help to echo that bit of color. I'm always thinking when I'm creating. Another little nose. It doesn't show as well here, but once I tell you, you won't unsee it. There's a little heart on that nose. So this is definitely for the cat lovers. It's also got a little bit of like a wild, fiery, what are we gonna do tonight feel to it. That's how I see it. And the owl, what I love about the owl, it's very punchy, very colorful, but it is so shape-based that it's almost like you forget that there's an owl there. You see the big blobs of half circles and mountain-like things and foliage, and they're all coming together, but then you do see the owl, which has the only white in the piece, so he really stands out. And then his eyes, of course, are so high contrast, just almost like they are framed with this blue dark mask, so to speak. Okay. Next panel. Don't worry. I'm not going to spend that long on all of these because the repeat designs might have a little less storytelling, but I mean, this one has, I believe it was 9, yes, 9 different animals. I live in Minnesota in the Midwest. Never thought I would, but here we are. Just to give you a sense of scale of this puppy. She's a big one. So this just needs a tiny bit of work. And we've got a lovely blanket. You can see that it's like as wide as my arm. It's funny, actually. Chin to thumb. I'm going to spend a little time looking at these different pieces. There's different colors. There's different things that everyone can say, oh, I love that one. That's my favorite, like the loon. Like we have to have a nice little goose in here. And the Canadian honker was a no-brainer. Was really a lot of fun. It's actually walking alongside a little bit of wild rice up ahead of it. Just love the blues and the violets. I don't know, I guess more masculine, especially when you compare to the bee on a wildflower. There's some really fun notes of how the different shapes overlapping each other created this oddly translucent, cool and warm look. And I wanted to have some of that translucent feel in the wings because, I mean, wings, come on. The owl appears again. This is quite a different owl. We've got some more normal colors on it, but still very punchy, rusty, brown, orange, and a red violet. That with the olive green, like those are buddies, you know. And as if the olive green wasn't enough of a neutral, we have this like subdued blue. The way that I worked on these was by hand, all watercolor, but they are digitally put together in kind of like a digital collage. This little buck was so fun to paint because he was 4 Northern Brights when we already knew where this was going, and I was like, we gotta have one of those in there. And they're just, I see them around our neighborhood, or just driving around, I'll see deer, and I just have to stop and I just look at them. So that felt so right to place in here. Also notice the morel mushrooms by the deer. So Minnesota, so us. We have gone morel mushroom hunting and have come home with nothing. But we're really proud of this silly white, huge puffer mushroom that we get every year in our front yard. And my boys enjoy poking around at it. The challenge of painting birch trees is real. Because what you have to do is actually paint the opposite of the tree, since the bark is white. Especially in watercolor, you don't paint white. White is the paper. And so creating the silhouettes, I wanted it to feel almost like stained glass or like glass panes that are overlapping each other and yet somehow form this tree. I remember painting lots and lots of half circles in yellows and oranges to make the leaves as if they were cascading and overlapping each other. It's like if you look at a birch tree with a kaleidoscope, what would that look like? No, if you looked at a birch tree through a kaleidoscope with long blue window panes dangling in front of you, what would that look like? That's what I was going for. The lengths, you know what's funny? You might think this like blank area is its tail. It has no tail, or it has like a little tiny tail. It actually does not have much of a tail, as you would expect for a cat, but it has these little like black hairs like shooting out from its ears, from the tops of its ears. So funny. Very, very much has a cold feel. I like to use what I call, instead of neutrals to create icy grays or white, I like to use cotton candy colors. They just give any white animal this spark of chill and yet cozy life. Like it's cold, like ice or bubble gum or a Slurpee. I don't know. And yet you want to drink it, even if it's super cold outside. The mud puppy, which if you look up a picture of a mud puppy online, it's like a salamander. It's like slimy and it's kind of wild and cute, like an axolotl or something like that. But you don't really want to pet it. I was kind of intrigued to create something that so dark, greasy, kind of slimy looking and not colorful at all in the way I'd like to represent it. So I was really happy with the mud puppy. The water does help bring in some more vibrant colors. And look at that blue. And this little guy, he has the most personality. Gophers are kind of a big deal here. This one in particular has really big teeth that it just looks like there's no way that this little guy is going to be chipper coming out of his hole. Like, I've met him at the hardware store and I avoid him because, he's there for something and I'm just going to let him do his thing. I like the little note of texture too on the upper left-hand side of that one. And finally, the fish. In our house, we have an avid fisherman. I was very proud to tell him, I'm painting a fish. You catch him and I'll paint him. I can do that. Don't have to take him off the hook. What's fun about representing this one is an underwater feel without having like a container of water or a full-on background. If you think about any painting with fish, typically that's the whole background, the water. And so trying to keep it similar in this style of a motif, it's basically kind of like on a bubble, not in a bubble because the bubble's smaller than him, but it's a fish, where it is. And also representing some of the texture of the iridescence when the sun might hit it at certain ways. Just fish have that opalesque texture at times, and I wanted to represent that. Okay, well, this is only the second one I've looked at so far, but it's an easy favorite. On to the patterns. I won't have to belabor this as much because, we'll have some color varieties, so you'll get the feel for it without needing to talk about every single one. But something that I've really come to enjoy, and you've seen me do it again and again, a full width ombre. That's the kind that goes from one end to the next in a colorful array and continues on into rainbow joy. It's so pretty. I wanted to represent the different seasons in our little forest. So we have some wintry blues going into some greens, some evergreens, some lighter greens of spring, into fiery colors of autumn. They're not perfectly placed where you got band of red. band of orange, band of yellow, kind of a rainbow. It's got a flow, but it just feels like it progresses nicely. So I was actually intentional about placing, like, say, this pink tree in the midst of greens and violets, while there's this green tree in the midst of yellows and eventually, again, blues. The trees are also painted in different styles, which makes it interesting. And something that I am consistently amazed by and enjoy is seeing watercolor on black ground. So versatile, would look so lovely on, spread all over a bed. Lovely backing for a more complex quilt, so you can flip. All right, now we've got grouping. So these are already grouped nicely. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in this grouping. Okay, we've got birch. So we've got leaves, leaves, birch. They do go together so nicely. Ooh, this is wild. This is feeling 70s-ish. Daisies. Some late summer flowers you might pick along the side of the road. Some black-eyed Susans. And moths. And moths. Did you like how I said that? I really do like the moths. Then we've got some yellow as well, because we've got the original colorway. This was created in yellow birch. So nice. Very cheery. The original colorway of the yellow flowers. This is wild, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's got all the Northern Brights colors that we were going for here. You can see those right here on the selvage. I'm digging that mustard yellow. One that I'm pretty proud of, because it is what I'd like to call a watercolor playground. Very fall. I just feel like you could go on a road trip on these roads. Get lost, right? Get lost in the, oh, it's so cute. And there is a little tent pitched a little somewhere for you to find. You know, as you meander through the hills and the forest and the brooks and the creeks and the rivers and the wheat fields and the green fields. Green and brown. My faves. Let's do one that may feel a little more related. Can you tell I'm excited about the blue? We've got some dark colors. Dark. Got the daisies and black-eyed Susans against black. It could be a bit of a Halloween feel. Just a little bit. And orange and black makes me think that way. Got some mums in there. It feels like they're mums. I thought they were mums, but they're highly stylized. And the moths. See, yeah, I feel like the black or dark background really gives a sense of, you know, the October part of fall. This one I was excited to make little pebbles in blue and rust. I feel like, oh man, I could wear this. I could sleep in this. I could lay my head on it. I could put it on a bag. There's always one that feels so very versatile. The woods. Have browns and greens and orange. It's a neutral stripe. Feels like a forest. It actually looks really good with the blue pebbles. Look at that. The foliage. the wild foliage. Beautiful. Last of the leaves. I actually like this. It's a nice tonal. It's got a bit more of the green, browns, rust orange, and a black ground. Even this leaf has a little bit of blue to it, which I find really mysterious and different. And let me show you this one. It is also, with animals. I need a minute. There's so much to look at. Okay, it is a collection of so many animals, some that were already shown and some that are new friends. That bear is a new friend. You see the wild rice all by itself. You see some mushrooms, the fish in the water. We've got some birds, deer, dragonflies. I'm so happy with it. I want a bigger piece of this. This is as big as the repeat is. The repeat's about a foot wide and 18 inches tall. Oh my gosh, look at how the color is represented here, just in this owl. Like, can you appreciate that? Beautiful, beautiful. That's a fave. Let's put these dark ones away and make way for our final showcase of 1, 2, 3, just 4 more fabrics. Sorry to cut the fun short. The blues of Northern Brights. Let's just kick this party off with the Pretty Animal Multi on a cream ground. It's just stunning. It's just stunning. All right, and then we've got the blue pebbles on white. I mean, like I said, I could wear this. I could cover a couch with this. It would look really good, actually, in my home. Let's make that happen. And this is a surprise. We have my mountain landscape that I showed you with the hills and the greens and the rivers, all in a blue colorway. See? Same little loops. And it's really very vibrant. Why do I always try to wear it? It's the true test. I don't know. It would work as swim trunks. Okay. The finale. The last one. The reason this collection is called Northern Brights is obviously from the Northern Lights. So fun. I kind of fell in love with Northern Lights, and I had yet to see them when I started creating this collection. And I'll tell you more about that. I'm just gonna gaze at these for now.